So recently I finished watching A Certain Scientific Railgun for the first time, and I must say, this series was awesome. I had seen Index years ago and enjoyed it, but I never got around to watching Railgun until just recently. And it definitely lived up to the original. Actually, I think it's better than the original. Instead of focusing on the entire world and a bunch of characters, Railgun focuses only on one city and a handful of characters, making all of them more likable than in Index. We get to actually enjoy the characters and the world without moving around so much from plot point to plot point. Which brings me to another thing that I like more about Railgun, the plot. The plot and story in this anime is something I found to be really interesting. We get to see one of the most powerful people in this city go through and learn all about the horrendous stuff that goes on behind the scenes in the city, which is so cool. We get to explore the underground parts of the city, deal with hitmen and assassins, as well as some fucked up science experiments that are being covered up by the people running the city. Seeing this corruption slowly get unveiled over the course of the 3 seasons we have of this show so far makes the story really interesting and had me invested all the way through to the end. I mean, I literally watched all 73 episodes in 3 days because I was that invested in it. This series surprised me with how good it ended up being. I knew I would like it because I like Index, but I had no idea that I would like it more than Index. This series just felt more focused and didn't have arcs that would be too fast or too slow. Everything felt really well paced and made the whole show so much better. I want to talk about other things that I love about this anime, but before doing that, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I make new anime, manga, and webtoon content every single week on a variety of different series and topics. The characters in this series are pretty good. I liked pretty much all of them. The main group had 4 characters, each with varying personalities that make each one of them likable in their own way. Misaka is a character that I already knew about from Index, but it was still cool to see her story play out and to see certain events from her perspective. In Index, she's mostly just the strong tsundere girl who doesn't want to admit she likes the main character, so she keeps trying to beat him up. But in Railgun, she is a way more complex character where we actually get to see a lot of her development. We of course still get those tsundere moments, but she has a much more complex personality than what we get to see in Index. The others in the main cast are pretty cool too. We have Shirai, who is the underclassman and roommate of Misaka, who has a lot of comedic moments throughout the show in her attempts to win over Misaka. But she's also Misaka's best and closest friend, and we get to see that on display constantly throughout the series with how much faith she puts in Misaka. Then we have Satin and Uiharu. Both of them play a lesser role in the series, but still an important one. These two represent what it is like for the everyday citizen to live in a city full of superpowered humans. Especially for Satin, who has no powers at all. She struggles the most with trying to find her purpose in this city, and it isn't until her friends help her that she starts to understand that it doesn't matter if you have any special powers or are strong and brave, everyone is important and has something that they can do. Uiharu is a hacker type character. She probably has the least amount of development throughout the series, but she is a good friend to Satin and plays an important role in the background of most of the events in the story through her insane ability with the computer and being able to access just about anything in the city with only a little bit of effort. There are some great antagonists in this series as well. Some scientists who have a grudge against the city, as well as some psychopaths who are willing to sacrifice innocent people just for some shifty experiment. We also have the big one in Accelerator, who is a major villain turned ally in Index, and also plays a massive antagonistic role in this series as well. There are a lot of great characters in this anime, which I was pleasantly surprised about when watching this anime. The animation in this anime is really good. This anime has 3 seasons, 2 of them are from the early 2010s and the other is from 2020, and it really shows. Not to say the earlier seasons look bad because they don't, but season 3 is just on a whole other level. Season 1 and 2 are pretty good for the time that they came out, the fighting is fluid and nice, and they have a lot of talking scenes that look pretty well done as well. But when I saw the final fight in season 3, I know exactly why they had to wait a decade to make that season because that shit was insane. It was a giant ass kaiju battle and it was epic as hell. But I don't think it would have been as good had they released season 3 a decade ago because the CG used in that fight looked a lot better than just any CG we had back in the day. But overall, the show was pretty well animated throughout its 3-season run, making this anime look quite good. The art is also quite good in this anime. The powers are pretty cool, the character designs are okay but work for the story, and Academy City has so many unique and interesting looking places that it brings the entire series together. The soundtrack in this anime is quite good. It gives off that early 2010s vibe the entire time, which I really love. The music also fits really well with the science and supernatural theme of the series. It's not all futuristic-y, but it actually feels a lot more like a generic shonen music, which I find to be a good thing. The music overall in this anime is quite good. Not amazing, but good. A Certain Scientific Railgun is a series that surprised me with how good it was. This is the first time that I have watched the spin-off series and thought that it was better than the original. So if you were hesitant about starting this series because you didn't like Index all that much, let me assure you that this series is way better and more focused than Index is.